All right, guys, what's going on? We are basically going to try to explain why we are tackling river situations the way we are. So basically, it's just that rivers are a really big problem, but they're also a really important problem. River pots are the largest, and as a result of being the largest, if you have things off by a little bit, they can make big impacts to your win rate. So that's one of the reasons to try to get the play at the highest level possible. At the same time, that they are really critical pots for our win rates. The problem is just too big. So there are basically 22,100 unique flops, 1,755 of which are strategically unique. And then it unfolds like a tree in this kind of exponential way, where those 1,755 flops with 49 unique turns turn into 86,000 unique turns, which then with subsequently unique rivers turn into over 4 million unique rivers. And that's just for one bet size. You could bet or check. So you have to know the 4 million for bet and the 4 million for check. And then if you chose multiple bet sizes, and that would just be, that's the whole river situation and how each hand behaves. Then you have to place each hand correctly in its context. And then you have, of course, button versus big blind at 50 bigs, which is different from button versus big blind at 40 bigs, which is different from button versus big blind at 30 bigs. And the reason they would all be really different is because you have different starting ranges. So if you go hand by hand, which is how most people do it, most people try to get better at playing the river by solving hands that they've played and then looking at the river. If you try to get better that way, it's going to take you a long time. So what we've done instead inside BBZ is we built these archetypes. So where the archetypes are basically like common range-on-range situations. So you have a range of bluff catchers. Your opponent has a polarized range of the nuts or a bluff. You have a range of bluff catchers in the nuts. Your opponent has a range of a polarized range of the nuts or a bluff. And then vice versa. And we just keep messing with these archetypes, but we simplify it down to a limited number of archetypes. And then we just observe how the different hands behave within the archetype. Okay? And then from there, when we're actually playing, all we have to do is relate the situation we find ourselves in back to an archetype. So, if you relate a situation back to, let's say you say your range is mostly bluff catchers and your opponent's range is polarized, you relate it back to that toy game. Pretty simple. And then from there, you try to relate your hand back to a hand within the toy game, and then just behave the same way that the toy game would behave with your hand. And in that way, we can dramatically shrink this impossibly large problem into something manageable. And that is essentially what this video series sets out to do. That's the way that I coach. That's the way that my players play and learn how to play river situations. And as a result, we've been very successful. And so hopefully this success finds you guys as well, and you guys are able to turn this into something that you can use to your advantage. So thanks very much, and let's get started.